Call the Board of Works and Safety to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nina, would you please call the roll?
Yes.
Member Collins? Member Lewis?
Here.
Member Sonity?
Here.
Member Williams?
Here.
Mayor Lynch? Here. We have the approval of the minutes from July 27th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 27, 2021 meeting.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Steve, seconded by Jamie. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unfinished business, LED community acknowledgement. Good morning, AJ.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, members. During last month's meeting, the Department of Planning and Community Development presented a letter from NIPSCO regarding their plans to replace existing lamps with LED throughout the city of Portage. These would be all the lamps that we lease or rent from NIPSCO throughout the city. At the last meeting, I requested that the matter be tabled so that I could do some further research and talk to some folks who are a lot more knowledgeable in this field than I. I've had an opportunity to conduct some of that research, talk to some additional people, and I don't know if a verbal report is better or if you would like something in writing, but in terms of a verbal report, what I've found is that a lot of communities along the lakefront, especially communities that are considering dark sky ordinances and things like that, and really considering the effect of this light on their residents, are choosing to go in the direction of the 3,000 K LED. What I've discovered is that's a softer light, something that's not as bright and intense. There are some examples in the city right now where a 4,000 K LED has been installed, and it's some people are in favor, but there's a lot of folks that I know are really recognizing the intensity of that new bright white light. I think that there's a little bit more time to deliberate unless the board would like to take action on a verbal report. But what I would recommend, based on what I've heard from the folks I've spoken to, is that the Board of Works consider moving ahead with a 3,000 K LED bulb, or it's not a bulb, LED. Let's just leave it at that. And we will reach out to NIPSCO if that's the decision of the board this morning.
So it's your opinion that it says 3,000 K?
3,000 K, yes.
Is sufficient enough to provide?
It absolutely is. The difference is the intensity of the white isn't as severe as a 4,000 K. In terms of the light and how it provides for the area, I'm used to using old terms like foot candles and things like that. That doesn't apply here to LED. Lighting sensors and levels of light are all measured differently. But really with the LED, it's a color really between 3 and 4K. And of the two, the 3,000 K is a softer white.
Gotcha.
I guess maybe an example, if you do buy LED at home, you can get a cool white LED or a warm white LED. The 3,000 K is more on the scale toward a warm LED color, not tremendously, but 4,000 K is very much what you would recognize as a cool white LED. I've talked to a few electricians, people who are very aware of this. So this verbal report does come with some investigation and some trying to gain a better understanding of what's going on. Along Central, along Willow Creek, those are 4,000 K LED.
So the dark skies groups, does that, do they recommend the 3,000?
So when the town of Ogden Dunes, the town of Beverly Shores was approached with this, they chose to go with 3,000 K.
And we did confirm there's no cost to the city, right?
We did confirm there's no cost to the city. This is a program that NIPSCO is handling. Our understanding would be that there would be then a benefit to us in terms of our yearly rental per pole, because the LED is not using as much electricity as the existing lamps. But time will tell if there is a cost savings to the city of Portage. I think Sandy and I were considering it, and I think right now we're right around $500,000 in terms of a rental per year to NIPSCO.
We will need a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept, I guess it's a recommendation from your department, AJ, is it?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to accept the recommendation from the Community Development Department in regard to the LED change out and to go with 3,000 K.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Jamie. Are there any further questions? If
AJ,
not,
can these lights change colors, like purple, red, green?
No.
No.
No. No, sir.
The lights don't observe Christmas.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I know what you're talking
Thank you.
Thanks, AJ.
We have new business. We have a solicitor's permit for Prat's Construction. Please state your name.
Jeff Garcia.
Okay. I think this was on the agenda last month, and we tabled it because no one was here, so.
I apologize. We didn't have all the forms, and I didn't know you guys had us on the docket. Otherwise, I would have been here.
Okay. No, I don't think these ones
So can you tell us about Pratt's Construction?
We do home improvements, windows, siding, solid fascia gutters, basically everything on the outside. We're usually here every year. Obviously, last year was kind of rough, but
Yes.
This is something we try to do every year with you guys.
Okay. Has the police department weighed in on this?
Absolutely, we received background checks. Captain Harmon and I spoke today. There's absolutely nothing on the background checks that
Good.
would cause us any concern.
Good news. Thank you. All right, with that said, I'll make a motion to approve the solicitor's permit application submitted by Pratt's Construction.
I second that motion.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Joetta.
I have a question. This is door-to-door soliciting?
Correct.
Okay, you are aware of our ordinance pertaining to the COVID, you know, we have the Delta variant, and we don't know what's going to go on in the next couple of months. So you would have to read that and make sure that they have face masks and whatever else is required by the ordinance committee.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. City of Portage standard detail sheet.
Good morning. Several months ago, the Department of Planning and Community Development began working with Marsh to update the City of Portage's standard detail sheet. This detail sheet is before you for your consideration. It has also been presented to the Sanitary Board and Stormwater Boards. The Sanitary Board was able to act on the standard detail. They did approve it. Unfortunately, the Stormwater Board is yet to act as they were unable to secure a quorum at the last meeting. We've looked at it. We've worked closely. The departments worked closely with Marsh and would make a recommendation here to the Board of Works to approve the standard detail sheet. Of course, the new standard detail sheet would not go into effect until the Stormwater Board approves their portion of the standard detail sheet, and then with securing the three boards' approvals, we will start using this. So likely soon. We're in August now, so probably soon into September, we'll be using this new standard detail sheet. So it would be the department's recommendation to approve this, the standard detail sheet with an understanding that really won't go into effect until the Stormwater Board has an opportunity to review and approve.
I'll make a motion that we accept the standard details.
What's that?
I was gonna make a motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we accept the standard details as presented, contingent upon the Stormwater Management Board approving.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Steve. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. We have the opening bids of the annual traffic signal maintenance.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, members. We have received one sealed bid for annual traffic signal maintenance. This bid was received on time, and it is from Midwestern Electric, Inc., 1620 East Chicago Avenue, East Chicago, Indiana, 46312. again, this quote is from Midwestern Electric, Inc., East Chicago, Indiana. Traffic signal maintenance, unit price is $103. Scheduled work, signal group lamp replacement, $300 a unit. Conflict monitor test, $220 a unit. Annual inspection, $210 a unit. Labor, skilled labor straight time, $85. Skilled labor overtime, $127.50. Skilled labor double time, $168. Equipment, service truck, $16. 30-foot bucket truck, $24. 45-foot bucket truck, $40. All of those units are per hour on equipment. You'll recall at the last meeting, we continued with last year's contract. Midwestern was kind enough to accept that. It would be staff's recommendation to award this quote contingent on legal review and contracting. That would be our recommendation.
Are these prices in line with the previous contract?
I will only be able to determine that if I had last year's contract in front of me. If I have last year's contract.
I'm just curious
Right.
if there was an increase, how much? We only have one quote, so I guess we don't have much choice.
We will need a motion to approve the quote.
I'll make a motion to approve the traffic signal maintenance agreement with Midwestern contingent upon legal review and contract review.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Jamie, to approve the traffic signal maintenance contract upon approval by the attorney. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
We have the opening bids for the annual streetlight agreement.
Madam Mayor, members, it appears that we've received 3 sealed quotes for annual street light maintenance. The first is from Continental Electric. Again, the first quote is from Continental Electric, 9501 East 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. Routine maintenance, skilled labor, straight time, $84. Service truck, $10. 30-foot bucket truck, $40. 45-foot bucket truck, $50. Non-routine maintenance, skilled labor straight time, $84. Skilled labor overtime, $110. Skilled labor double time, $136. Service truck, $10. 30-foot bucket truck, $40. 45-foot bucket truck, $50. Second quote is from Circle R Electric, Inc., P.O. Box 130, 5740 Central Avenue, Portage, Indiana 46368. Again, this is from Circle R Electric. Routine maintenance, skilled labor, straight time, $85. Service truck, $15. 30-foot bucket truck, $25. 45-foot bucket truck, $45. Non-routine maintenance, skilled labor, straight time, $85. Skilled labor overtime, $125. Skilled labor double time, $159. Service truck, $15. 30-foot bucket, $25. 45 bucket truck, $45. The third sealed quote is from Midwestern Electric, Inc., 1620 East Chicago Avenue, East Chicago, Indiana, 46312. Again, this is from Midwestern Electric. Routine maintenance, skilled labor, straight time, $85. Service truck, $16. 30-foot bucket truck, $24. 45 bucket truck, $40. Non-routine maintenance, skilled labor, straight time, $85. Skilled labor overtime, $127.50. Skilled labor double time, $168. Service truck, $16. 30-foot bucket truck, $24. 45-foot bucket truck, $40. Those are the three sealed bids that we received. It'd be staff's recommendation to take these matters under advisement, and we will report at a subsequent meeting.
I just have one comment before I make a motion. I think you're on track. I know there's a lot of numbers here that you got to analyze. I would ask, when you do the analysis, if the bulk of our time is spent on straight time cost, you know, try to get a handle on what percentage is straight time on past experiences.
Yeah.
Well, how much do we spend typically in double time or overtime? So, but it looks like the straight time is, there's only difference of $1, and two of them are the same. So in your analysis and recommendation, I would ask you to go a little bit deeper in the woods to maybe get, when you give us a recommendation, you've done some analysis of actually billing time. If 60% of it is straight time, or we're getting 40%, and you don't have to be exactly, you know, to the penny, but just as a part of the analysis.
Sounds good. We will do so.
So I make a motion that we allow the Community Development Department to review these numbers from these three contractors, Continental, Circle R, and Midwestern, and in their report analysis, I asked them to try to detail where we spend most of our money to get some idea of which one of these contractors is indeed the most beneficial from an economic standpoint. And I would also ask the legal department to review the contracts to make sure they're in line.
I'll second that. I have a question. Who presently does our?
Circle R Electric.
So we have a motion by Scott, seconded by Steve. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, AJ.
We have the release of the letter of credit maintenance bond for Cardinal Crossing.
Yes, the Department of Planning and Community Development's had an opportunity to review the release, or the letter in its release. We believe everything is in order on our end. We have reached out to Superintendent Commenda on stormwater. We have not yet heard back from him. So with that, and without his recommendation, it would be my recommendation to table this matter until a subsequent meeting until we can get Superintendent Commenda's recommendation.
I make a motion, we table the maintenance bond letter of credit release to Cardinal Crossing.
I second that motion.
We have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Joetta to table the maintenance bond for Cardinal Crossings. Any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have the plat approval for Brookside Subdivision.
Yes, in this report, Madam Mayor, members, Attorney Whitten and I will be tag teaming on this one. The Plan Commission at a recent meeting approved secondary plat for the Brookside subdivision. This is a subdivision being constructed on the east side of Airport near the intersection of Airport and Loop Road. Unlike a lot of the development community in the last 20 plus years, they are seeking secondary plat approval and a letter of credit, a surety that would make sure that they or we make all of the would be responsible for all the infrastructure improvements related to this project. Taking this path in the city's platting process allows them to begin selling lots. Again, it's something that used to be done 20 plus years ago, but in more recent times, the development community has taken a different approach. So for those of you who may recall, we haven't done one of these in quite a while. So Attorney Whitten and I, Attorney McClure at the Plan Commission, did spend a lot of time brushing up on this approach. So we're very confident in our reading of the ordinances and being before you this morning. So during that meeting, the Plan Commission did approve secondary plat. They did establish a letter of credit amount at $9.5 million. The developers' representatives are here today as well if you have any questions. But Dan has been working with the developer on the language, the form of the letter of credit document. We're here today seeking your approval on that letter of credit, and at this point I'll turn it over to Attorney Whitten for further comment.
That pretty much sums it up. So what you have in your Dropbox is a revised engineer's opinion of probable cost. If you go to the bottom, it sums up to about $9.5 million. In there is the required 25% contingency. That's where you see the 1.899, 1.8 million, almost 1.9 million built in there. In speaking with Attorney McClure from the Plan Commission, when they came with their draft line of credit or letter of credit, it was the Plan Commission approved it at 9.5 million, which complies with our ordinance. So that's why it's come up from the Plan Commission with a favorable review and a request for this board to approve.
So what we're approving is this letter of credit for $9.5 million?
That's correct.
Okay. And you believe that these are cost estimates, right? I mean, to do this, are they? You feel
how have they been developed?
Yeah.
So the estimate of probable cost is developed by the developer's engineer. That information is then shared with us. Eben Marsh, serving as our municipal engineer and Plan Commission engineer, has reviewed, as has Christopher Burke, as they are the Sanitary and Stormwater Board's engineer. So we've had two engineers take a look at it. You will see that, and then it also includes a 25% contingency. The engineers Chip Thompson from Eben Marsh did speak during the Plan Commission hearing and did indicate that he found that the estimates were in order. And so yes, Mr. Williams, they've had a chance to review those. It does come with their recommendation, and that's why I stand here offering the departments.
Okay.
And I did check with him as well. That was part of my conversation with Scott McClure. I went back and spoke with the engineers, and they both have confirmed they believe it's reasonable.
It's a big project. It's a lot of money. Just want to make sure they didn't. I wouldn't know if anything's missing there. I just had to ask the question.
That's fair.
All right. I make a motion that we approve the letter of credit for $9.5 million that has come to us from the Plan Commission and Community Development. They feel that this amount of credit that is being offered in the letter of credit is a sufficient amount and accurate.
I'll second that. But I have a question. This might seem off the wall, maybe it's not appropriate for this meeting. But you or the rep from the construction, is there any part of that new subdivision that has a drainage? I see the work they have. It must be Robbins Ditch.
Yeah.
Because in previous years we've had trouble in subdivisions here where they had a drainage pond, and then the company skates out and they want the city to take care of it, and that's not our responsibility, you know, because somebody owns that property and he won't do anything, and you get a lot of calls on that, because who maintains the extra area, you know what I mean?
So if you've been out in that area, you'll notice that there's a new, the Robbins ditch has been realigned.
Right.
For the most part. The storage, so the channel's been moved, and then the storage, the stormwater storage for that subdivision is in addition to the channel being realigned. So there's a pretty significant area that runs through the development that will provide for stormwater management within that 174 lot sub. In terms of maintenance, I believe there's an easement that will run to the stormwater board, and I believe that the developer has an intention for a POA. There's some level of, and the property owners or homeowners association be developed for the maintenance of that facility. I believe the developer's looking at that as an amenity to the development of the residents who are living adjacent. But to your question, there always is that risk that the HOA falls apart, the property owner falls apart, and that responsibility falls back to the city of Portage. We run that risk every time we do new development in the city. But with that said, this developer, Lennar, has really taken an aggressive approach and really hoping that this is a nice amenity for the development. And Todd Clevin is here if you have any questions of him, if I haven't answered the question appropriately.
No, that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? Todd, did you want to speak?
I just want to add one thing. Learning, being with an Illinois developer, the state of Illinois has something to that question as far as, I believe it's called SSA, being correct with the terminology. Basically, so we as a developer establish a homeowners association. The homeowners association pays the dues. Everything is maintained. You as the city of Portage is superior to that by easement. So you could come in there and maintain it as well. If there's an emergency situation, you do have rights of entry, but we do maintain it via the HOA. However, as you've seen in other subdivisions, 20, 25 years down the road, the HOAs fall apart, they no longer exist, and then it does become a burden on the municipality. An interesting thing in Illinois, and I'm looking into this, if maybe it's something I can start in our HOA if the statute allows it, where you as the body, as a municipality, have the rights to take that HOA over and assess those homes almost as a tax in that individual community alone. So very good structure that's taking place in Illinois. I have yet to see it in the end. I think something I'm working on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. But we don't know if that statute exists. Is that what he's saying at this point in Indiana?
Well, that's a great question. So my quick and easy answer would be that I don't think we can do that here. But the HOA statutes are a little vague sometimes. Okay. So.
Not to put you.
But it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm all in. I'm rooting for you.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, Todd. We have a traffic signal at airport and loop proposal.
Yes, Madam Mayor, members. This matter, you'll recall some time ago I was here seeking your authorization on a contract for a traffic study on Airport Road. That traffic study, its findings have been presented to the Traffic Commission for review and consideration. They, after deliberation, would like to move ahead with one of the recommendations of the report. which is to move forward with the design and installation of a traffic signal at the intersection of Airport Road and Loop Road. I'm here before you today seeking your approval to move ahead with the contract portion, or the design contract portion of that project. I've been working closely with Clerk Treasurer Rivas as to where the funds would come from this, and I believe, not to speak on behalf of Clerk Treasurer Rivas, but we would be taking those funds out of motor vehicle highway restricted. Those funds have been appropriated. This would be an appropriate use of those funds. So I come with the recommendation of the Traffic Commission. I come to you this morning seeking your approval to move forward with this contract with Abbenmarsh to design a traffic signal at the intersection of Airport and Loop Road. And I believe the estimate of cost is $20,000.
And that's just for the design.
Yes, sir.
And we have the money in MVH restricted. Now, obviously, that's going to become a very, very busy section.
Well, let me say this: is we were the matter before you previously was the Brookside subdivision. I want to be clear. The traffic study is very clear that that new development isn't the trigger for this work.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, today, as we sit here, without any new home being built there, the intersection of Loop Road and Airport, the Loop Road access to Airport, I believe the left turn movement is operating at a level of service E. So it's right close to failure already. If you've been out at that intersection, you know there are certain hours of the day you don't make a left turn off Loop Road. So I just want to be clear, the traffic study did look and consider existing traffic, and then added the new condition, which would be the additional 175 homes and whatever traffic they would bring to that area. So this signal appeared, this work or traffic, some sort of traffic device at this intersection appears to have been long due for quite a while. A level of service E really in a community is just unacceptable, and I'm sure the officers and others, all of us here, can understand the frustration we've seen at that intersection when you are sitting there for 7 minutes and can't get out. This traffic signal will improve that condition, and I believe it would bring the whole intersection, I think, to a level of service B and C. Again, that matter, but I think the details of that are contained within the report.
And it's also the safety. We have all the school buses, school hours.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That road's heavily traveled.
Yes, sir.
Well, and I was on the Traffic Commission for 4 years, and every month it was a complaint by some resident
Yeah.
that they could not get out of there, so.
Yeah, especially when school starts, which starts tomorrow, so it's gonna be.
Will know. In all likelihood, I guess, to give a sense of timing, it's always a question folks have. The design will take a couple months. We will be making an effort to coordinate with the development of Brookside. As you know, they're making improvements to the east side of Airport Road. And then there will be a signal install. In all likelihood, this is probably a spring of 2022 install, just to give a perspective of when this is likely going to take place.
Okay, we need a motion?
I make a motion to approve the traffic signal airport loop proposal.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Joetta, seconded by Jamie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We have a bulk item appeal at 2269 Amsterdam Road.
Good morning, members. Ms. Bowen is not able to be here today. She does apologize and would seek leniency in this $25 service charge. One of her family members did place the item out to the curb to be serviced by mistake without her knowledge. So my recommendation is that in this particular point, or this particular bulk item, we just have a little bit of leniency for Ms. Bowen and reverse the $25 service fee.
I make a motion, we waive the fee for 2269 Amsterdam.
I second the motion.
We have motion by Jamie, seconded by Joetta, to remove the bulk item fee at 2269 Amsterdam. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Randy. We have the claims of $800,558.20. We'll need a motion, and then I think that there are some questions.
I make a motion that we approve the claims. We actually have two sets of claims, right? We have the ones
There
for
are two.
proven.
This is the total.
So this total on the 12-page includes the proven?
The total on the agenda, the $800,558.20 is for
Okay.
the total issue.
Gotcha.
We have a motion by Scott. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Steve Jamie.
I'll give it to Steve.
Oh, thank you, Jane.
So,
I have a question.
questions?
Yeah, thank you. The EAP contract, these invoice bills from Franciscan, I'm sure we did, but I can't recall. Did we approve an agreement with Franciscan?
Yes.
Okay. My memory is sometimes lacking. So.
Is
Thank
the
you.
$550 charge, is that the monthly fee and we're catching up?
Nina, I have a question on the City Hall
didn't hear the
electric,
response.
because it looks like there's 4 charges on there that are like $13,000.
Because City Hall covers other facilities throughout the city.
Oh, okay. Do we know what facilities those are?
I mean, all of our city facilities, yes, I
Okay.
can get that for you.
Okay.
Right now, but that's just how it's.
I just
You can
looked
just
at
cut
it.
them
was
off when they're downstairs.
I was a little startled at $13,000. It's like, that is a month? Okay.
So I didn't hear your response, Nina, to the question that Jamie raised in regard to, were these fees to Franciscan that we pay, is that a monthly fee?
Yes,
And we were behind in paying them?
because we didn't have an executed contract, it was getting revised.
Okay.
So part of the delay, Scott, was candidly, we pay per employee. And we were doing a little bit of shifting in sanitary and storm moving, and we were moving the construction crew out of streets, so we had to kind of wait for all the
Those
numbers to
yeah,
shake.
shake out.
So that
yeah.
caused some delay.
Okay. It's a good newsletter. I mean, I don't know how many people read it, but it's valuable information.
I do have a question. There was the street light repairs, I'm assuming this is from the car that ran over the street light.
That's the one I was just going to ask about, yeah.
Yeah, it's this street light, traffic light. I thought we had a contract for the traffic lights with Midwestern. But Circle R billed for this, is it?
I would have to look, I'm not privy to the.
Are you talking about the one on page 5 or 6, Jamie?
This is actually page 5.
Yeah, I had a question on that too. It just says street light and traffic light repair.
I would have to pull the actual claim. Anytime that we get these claims, they usually come from Satya, and you know, that they're okay to pay. If it is an insurance issue, we do get the monies in, but we just receive that in unappropriated balances.
Okay.
It looks like it may be an actual pole that was replaced, and maybe that's not in the maintenance contract.
That's correct, that's above and beyond. So, as you heard me open the bids today, it's labor, it's equipment. Materials are added to costs, correct? Yeah, so if Circle R were to need to purchase a new pole, if a street light pole is down, or we had the incident where the traffic signal pole was down on Mulberry, the contractor proceeds in that condition, goes out and purchases the materials, for the installation. So that would be added to, correct?
Up and above. But you think, Nina, that our insurance maybe would cover that?
Well, whoever's insurance crashed into it.
Well, whoever hit it.
Hopefully it wasn't us.
It wasn't.
It just said repair bleeding hole.
Maybe my question.
The pole is no fault.
Yeah. So then on page 6, there's one that says repair light caused by automobile accident, and that's almost 5,000. So will we be able to claim that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So as Nina mentioned, all of those matters, if it's an insurance claim, Sonia works with the clerk treasurer's office with our insurance to track all that down. It does take some time, as you know, but as many of those instances as we can recover costs, the city does do so.
That's good news, because, you know, sometimes things like that get just lost in the shuffle. So that's great that you're on top of that.
Now, we did that at the first of the year when we first took over as administration, and we started watching those to make sure that if they were, you know, hit by a vehicle from someone, that we could collect the insurance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great, good job.
That is good.
So Nina, I had a question on page 7, the Keystone and Key Fund licenses of $6,380. Are those, is that all of our, it's a financial, you're gonna keep that, that's, yeah, okay. That's an annual.
So there's that, and then there's the key, the old new utility software, but that's paid for as a that's key utility.
Okay. And then the only other one I have, and I think we brought this up many times, is on page 11, the Retrievex fee of $1,938, that storage fee. Have we ever gotten a hold of them and decided what we were going to do with that? Do we have any kind of a breakdown of what is stored there? What is that?
We've never circled back around with that.
So I think we were waiting. It had something to do with what Proven was doing. Kind of, we were waiting for them to do the whole
Conversion.
Conversion and revamp, and then we were going to double back around. My memory tells me, and it's been quite some time, so which is always dangerous when I try to go back that far, but that some of it was physical and some of it was virtual storage and off-site, and so I think now that Proven is where they're at, I think our thought is to go back around and see what we really need and not.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're paying for something that is obsolete, and I mean, even if it's, you know, not in the cloud, if it's just some hard copies of things, and maybe it's past its prime, and we don't need to be paying for that.
There is, there is images stored that was scanned, paperwork that was scanned in. I think part of the reason it's so expensive is because they were scanned in as a JPEG. JPEG costs a lot more to store than a PDF.
And we really didn't.
They're not searchable either.
When you and I called them, gosh, it's probably been a year ago, Mayor. We got them on the phone, as you may recall, and we really didn't get a great answer as to how much was physical documents versus virtual. But I'll double back around now that where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it'd be nice to know, and I know we all realize this, you know, if there is physical backup stored, where is it?
Yeah.
And I think that what they told us, and again, this is going back, but they used to have them. They used to have storage here locally, but then they shut that down, and it's now somewhere in Illinois. And my thought was maybe we'll just go over and look.
Yes.
But
Just name the day, I'll go with you.
Yes, and now it's on state, so well, I'll find out.
Well, I think if there's hard copies of things we need to retrieve from Retrievex, find another place, because that's pretty expensive. Okay, that was all I had.
Well, do we have a motion? Or do we already have a motion? Oh.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have major illness claims.
There are none to bring before the board today. That's not to say there aren't some, but Carrie wasn't quite ready to bring them over. So I'll have some at our next meeting, but none today, Madam Mayor.
Awesome. Are there any other things to come before this board? Any other business?
I have one thing,
Okay.
if I may, Madam Chairman. So I have spoken with Local 150 Union. We currently have 4 grievances. I won't get into the detail on that just yet, but which have found their way through step 2, which is me. They're requesting step 3 with the Board of Works, and they're requesting it be an executive session, which I think is appropriate. So I'm going to be asking the board to maybe, I can shoot out an email, we can get some dates when we can have an executive session. I don't think it's going to take terribly long. Rather than sort of do these piecemeal, I wanted to maybe see if we could tackle them all on the same day, just get them out of our hair. One of the 4 I think I might settle before anyway, so it was just a question of getting some data together. But so you can look for that. I'd like to start thinking about maybe some days that might work for you guys in the next week or 2.
Just for when you plan that, I am going to be gone. I don't have to be there if you have a quorum, but I am going to be gone August 21st through the 29th. So I am going to miss the next Board of Works meeting.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. So what is a good time? I mean, is morning, is this time, is later?
Morning's
What's a
good.
good time for the board, for you to be able to be available?
Morning works.
Morning works, except for Wednesday and Friday.
Okay.
Morning works for me except for Thursdays.
So maybe I'll try to, since we're sort of
Wednesday and Friday, so now we're into.
since we're in the groove of Tuesdays, maybe I'll try to get it on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Just
mornings
to-
work for me. I'm also out of town on the next board meeting as well. So.
You guys going to the same place?
I don't know, are we?
I don't think so. I'm going
Don't
for
tell
work.
them.
Yeah, it's not. It's
What day?
Yeah, it really is none of your business.
It's
not
work,
going
so
to
I doubt it. You sound like you're going on
Okay, Jamie
vacation.
and I will be.
Going to West
We'll take care of
to see my son and daughter.
This will be fun.
2 granddaughters.
Yeah, don't leave,
You have to
don't leave town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was planning on being there, but I think I'm going on vacation with these guys.
I don't know if you can afford it. Oh, no.
Okay, so Dan will be in touch with everyone.
Sure.
We'll try to get that soon.
And the reason I kind of being sort of general, and I'll get you some dates, is that I've already asked the union to give me some dates. And I kind of thought morning, and I kind of thought Monday or Tuesday, ironically. So as soon as they get back to me, which I expect maybe later on today, I'll shoot you guys a group email and we can coordinate something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, would it be possible to piggyback that onto the next Board of Works and have it earlier or right after, or no, you want to do it?
I think that the attorney for the union, I think, wasn't available that week. I think he's got trial.
Okay, then we're looking at the 17th and the 31st.
Right, so
Which I may be going on the 31st, so let's look on
I'll be on like
that. I have jury duty.
Well, I would have Jamie, you.
I'm not off planes anymore. I have jury duty. Okay, so Dan will be getting with you. If there are no other items to come before the board, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Steve, seconded by Jamie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Have a lovely day, everyone.
You too.